Thanks to Lenovo GameSafe for sponsoring this video. They're working with indie developers Dark Rift on a new tower defense game.
Yeah, to check it out, click the link in the description.
Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Bruce Greene.
A string of high-profile takedowns on YouTube lately has even us asking, where's the fair use?
Yeah, where is the fair use, Ashley? This week,
I can't find it.
It's gone. This week, a couple of notable channels have been hit by YouTube's controversial copyright claim system, which seems to have gone completely off the rails over the last couple of months.
Last night, popular channel I Hate Everything's host Alex Bolton posted a video showing that he's gotten erroneous copyright strikes against one of his videos, resulting in the video's monetization being stripped away from him. This isn't the first time he's had to deal with this kind of thing, and judging from the name of his channel, you can just imagine how he feels about it.
Please this bunch?
Yeah!
Not really. In the video, Bolton goes through the disputed portions of one of his recent videos, I Hate Damn Daniel, showing that he doesn't even use the copyrighted music that his videos are being dinged for. The disputes, filed by a supposed rights management group called Merlin CDLTD, were made on behalf of a musician, Dylan Dawzat.
However, when Bolton reached out to Dawzat on Twitter, the artist said he had no idea what the claims were about and that nobody in his company was involved. And as shady as it is that someone would knowingly issue false claims against videos, well, YouTube kind of makes it easy for people to do that and make money.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a kind of a weird automatic error that YouTube makes as well. So like, it's not the perfect system, as we'll find out. When a claim is issued, there are a few things that happen. In this case, and a lot of cases, the claimant doesn't actually take the video down. Instead, all ad revenue for the video on YouTube is essentially funneled over to whoever it is that makes the claim. And then, even if the claim gets resolved and rights returned back to the creator, they don't get the money back that was earned on the video while it was claimed. It's actually kind of shockingly open for abuse.
We've dealt with that a bunch, actually.
Yeah.
The newest claim controversy comes on the heels of a similar kerfuffle from earlier in the week when Team 4star's channel got removed from YouTube completely.
Holy shit.
You may know Team 4star from their hugely meme-tastic Dragon Ball Z Abridged series, which dates all the way back to 2008.
It's so good. Fortunately, their channel was dead less than 24 hours before someone got Shenron involved to bring the channel back online, although the channel is still missing a number of its videos.
And this is just the latest in a rash of YouTube videos to get Yamcha. Some major creators have had specific videos flagged like Eli the Computer Guy, Alternate History Hub, and Channel Awesome, but others like Team 4star and Pokemon Reorchestrated, which we covered last week, have had their channels removed altogether over takedowns.
Jeez, that's a big hit for them. That's a huge
hit. That sucks. That's like a life.
Yeah, these incidents with I Hate Everything, Team 4star, and Pokemon Reorchestrated are just more rage fuel for those contributing to the WTFU conversation that's been happening the last month.
Translation, for those unaware, WTFU, or Where's the Fair Use, is actually a two-pronged discussion. In it, content creators are trying to engage YouTube about what constitutes fair use, in addition to demands to overhaul the copyright claim system that's so easily abused.
Yeah, because fair use is a very, very gray area.
It's all shades of gray. Yeah. There's almost no such thing as black or white in fair use.
Yeah, these cases aren't always as cut and dry as they seem, and a big part of that problem comes down to the understanding of the legal doctrine of fair use, as we were just talking about, which permits limited use of copyrighted material without acquiring permission from the rights holder.
And surprise, surprise, fair use is even more complicated than the levels of Super Saiyan, which is part of why people don't understand it very well, even those who think they do. Not a burn, because we're actually counting ourselves among those ranks. Back when we were doing RT News, RIP, long live the now, we published a story about the flood that destroyed the offices of No Man's Sky developer Hello Games. Thinking that we were covered by fair use, since we were reporting news, we used footage someone took of the flood. The photographer disagreed and filed a claim against our video, and it turns out, totally in the right.
Yeah, because he filmed it.
He filmed it. It was not fair use. Doing news doesn't grant you carte blanche to use any and every video from the internet. We talked to the photographer, apologized, worked it out, and we learned a lot, mostly by crossing the line and getting called on it.
Yeah, well, forgiveness rather than permission. Even still, we count ourselves among many, many YouTubers who rely heavily on fair use, whether it's for game footage, movie trailers, whatever, and any of it could be subject to takedown at basically any time.
Yeah, the thing that people forget about fair use is that it's a defense, not a right. The distinction between those is very important. It means that you can't just make whatever you want and claim fair use. It puts the pressure on this supposed copyright infringer to defend their creation.
Yeah, this is actually how you want this legal doctrine set up. As much as it sucks when it's abused, it makes it harder to steal from people, and that's a good thing.
There are a number of factors that all have to be met for something to be protected by fair use. For one, the new work has to be transformative as opposed to derivative. Transformative meaning that it's a totally different product from the original despite using the material. One could actually argue, for example, that Let's Plays are derivative content rather than transformative. That's where Nintendo seems to come down. That's their typically draconian policies. But again, all gray.
Yeah, it really is.
Because a lot of Let's Players argue that their performance is transformative.
Ah, that makes sense. Fair use is also determined by whether or not the user is benefiting financially from the new work, which makes use of the old one, and perhaps most importantly, that the value of the original is not diminished.
As it turns out, many videos people think are protected by fair use really aren't necessarily. Let's take reaction videos as an example, since that's been such a hot topic recently for reasons. Reactors like to claim that it's transformative because their reactions add to it, but some content creators see the videos as diminishing and profiting mainly from their original work, especially when it's one person in a tiny corner of a full original video saying wow every few minutes, which does happen. It's not the main thing, but
that's also the gray area that we're always kind of in the middle of. Even when you're sure your video is in the clear, YouTube's copyright claim policy is far too easy to abuse.
Another example from our storied past.
Oh wow, we really do have a storied past.
We have a lot of stories. Just last year before E3, we published a story about a game on Steam allegedly raising prices right before a Steam sale to make the discount appear more attractive than it really was.
I remember that. The developer of the game issued a strike against our video because they found it to be inaccurate. Not what the copyright system is for.
Not at all, guys.
We spoke to them and they rescinded the claim, but it's not the first or last time the system has been abused that way.
I remember the Shane Dawson Taylor Swift parody that Sony took down despite it containing no assets that were owned by Sony.
There's a reason YouTube automatically takes all these videos down when a claim is filed, though. Simply, they don't want to get sued for $1 billion again.
Neither do I.
Which is what happened to them with Viacom back in 2007. As a result, they have an automated takedown first, ask questions later approach.
Well, $1 billion will probably make you that way.
Absolutely.
It's also so easy to file a claim because it's meant to protect smaller content creators from having their videos stolen by larger entities.
Just like fair use is set up to make content harder to steal, YouTube's claim system is meant to protect the little guy. It just isn't perfect, as we've seen.
And unfortunately, all we hear about are where it fails. We don't hear about the successes.
Yeah, that's true.
The Digital Millennium Copyright Act is a tricky law that's trying to protect providers like YouTube, content creators who make a ton of stuff with fair use, and copyright holders all at the same time. And it's only going to get trickier in the long term as the internet tries to broaden the definition of fair use and all the corporations disagree with what all of that means.
Yeah, hopefully with all the discussion around fair use recently, YouTube can listen and implement some changes. They already announced at the end of last year that they want to provide up to $1 million in legal assistance to help content creators battle copyright claims.
$1 million.
Oh, YouTube's Dr. Evil? I don't think.
They might have a cool cat though. Unfortunately, we're just not seeing that kind of protection for creators yet.
Yeah,
but eventually that million will roll in.
We'll see about that. It's a bad situation that YouTube really just needs to put a steamroller on in order to get all those kinks out.
Or you could just be more kinky. What do you guys think of the WTFU discussion? How should YouTube fix their copyright claim process? And what would they look like with a ball gag? Let us know in the comments.
Was that a question that we're going to ask our viewers?
It's what I'm going to ask our viewers. I'm asking what YouTube would look like in a ball gag, not like you. For more YouTube news and takedown discussions like this video, and subscribe to The Know. Help me, Bruce.
No. Pictures of ball gags, no.
Thanks to Lenovo for sponsoring this update. Check out LenovoGameState.com to see all the progress Darkrift has made on their new game.
Yeah, fans can actually make a difference, so don't forget to comment to inspire the developers. They're all really nice guys.
On their site. You can comment in our video too, but on their site's where they'll get the feedback.
Do both.
Yeah. We've already seen pictures of all kinds of
That's true.
Our own people in ball gags. Ryan, right?
Probably.
Did Ryan wear a ball gag?
There's a piece of art on free play.
Your Meg's all
Right,
what?
there we go. Yep, that's right. The art on free play of Ryan wearing a ball gag. It's hot as hell.
Boy.